automatically.
Okay. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you know about computers.
I'm glad someone is. I'm telling
You're saving my ass.
Totally. Okay, so give me a second.
Okay.
We are live. Let me do the introductions and then I'll get to you. So just sit tight for a second, if you will.
Okay.
So this is where you don't want to heckle me. This is that part. Okay. So Facebook, OMG, I'm so delighted. I get to know Gail Jones. That's her over in that square over there. We'll see how long she can go without talking. Gail Jones is here. She did her hair and her makeup just for me and you. She's been looking real good today.
Even eyeshadow.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Let me read you guys, the little intro she sent me. And I quote, she said, I have a Facebook page, Gail Jones, Southern Sex Therapy Comedy. I have a small sex and psychological articles on it. I have small sex and psychological articles on it. I don't know if that means that she has a little bit of sex on there or it's two kinds of articles.
Two kinds of articles.
It's not your OnlyFans page. I'm pretty lazy with COVID brain, she says. I was a licensed clinical social worker until I was old. Yeah, I want to get me an old clinical, whatever, social worker, licensed clinical. You don't want an unlicensed one, right, Gail?
No, I'd like an artist.
What? So you've been doing comedy 20 years. And
yeah.
Licensed clinical social worker. So,
well, I always needed a lighter side because psychotherapy is pretty intense. I've always had an interest in theater. My first play was in high school, and I said, come on, they're over here.
What play was that?
Yeah. What play was that? Oh, God, that was in the Ice Age. I don't remember. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That sounds like something from Where the Boys Are. Come on, they're over here.
Yeah, right. And I was going through a really bad conflictual divorce. And so I needed something to keep my sanity. So my friend said, come on, go to comedy class with me. And she went for 6 weeks and I liked it and kept it up for 3 years.
Doing comedy 20 years, Gail. What do you got to say about the comedy career lifestyle choice?
Well, I've had a different one. I haven't, done lots of road work. I do local stuff, like at the Punchline in Sacramento or San Francisco or different places around in Northern California. Although I have done a little bit in New York City and in Lockford, California, and in Utah and Idaho, and I went to the Scotland Fringe Festival about 6 years ago, which was absolutely fantastic. If you get the chance to go, because it's in August every month for 2 weeks.
You did comedy at the Fringe Festival?
Yes, there was a lady there from the Bay Area who put a group together. And so I was part of the group that went, and we did comedy wherever we could, And it's 2 weeks of all kinds of comedy that you can think of. It's fabulous. And I stayed at the University of Edinburgh dorms because they were cheaper.
You're
One
more
thing about
Scottish
us
than the
comics,
Scottish.
we go for the cheaper.
Are
And
you Scottish?
I am part Scot, part Irish, and probably part mud. You know, I, I haven't spit in a cup yet and let them check my DNA, but I'm sure I have a little Indian, a little everything. I don't believe in pure races
Yes.
like Donald Trump and Hitler.
Yes. So I sent in for my DNA, Gail. And
You did?
and you know what I got back?
What?
I got a ballerina skirt and a dick pic. So I think that I've been.
Well, you didn't send it where my friend did.
So I think I've been me tutu'd.
I think you have. I think that's a true story or
No,
a
I made
joke.
it up. It's a lie.
Oh, okay.
Joke.
All right. I'm very gullible. You'll learn that about me. You can say, well, the moon has turned purple with white dots. Really? When did it do that?
Everything I
But
eat, everything I eat, I cook from scratch. But I'm German, and scratch means from the garbage. That's where it winds up too.
wow,
That's all I
that sounds like Holocaust.
My parents went through the Holocaust.
Yeah, that's a Holocaust joke.
Yes, yes. It's true.
Nothing funny about it.
No, no. No, my parents went through the Holocaust.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. So, talk to me about your Betty Davis impression that you're doing right now. Your voice, has anyone told you you sound like Betty Davis? Or
No. Uh-uh. How old was Betty Davis when she talked like this?
30?
Oh, really? So you think I trained my voice to do like this, to sound like Betty Davis?
You're a big faker. You're a poser.
Yeah, a poser. I've always heard that for surfing, but I didn't know you could do it for Betty Davis too.
Maybe
Somebody asked me, they said, well, you're kind of old, aren't you, to be a comic? And I said, well, I said, something about that. I've wanted to do stand-up comedy for a long time, but I've waited so long I can hardly stand up, you know. And that's what happened because long time ago, um, Lucille Ball came to San Jose and she gave a talk, and it was at the Flint Center, I think, and there were probably 3 or 4 thousand people there. And I was about 49, and I had already gone through 19 years of schooling, high school, BS degree, master's degree, a year's training of sex therapy, and 3 years of sex therapy internship. And I said, what am I going to do? My husband will never pay for me to do another career. And she said, just be funny wherever you are. But that wasn't good enough for me. I had to go and take lessons and try it. It's not easy, I can tell you that. But nothing's easy. Not becoming a sex therapy person is not easy either. That takes a lot of years. So I remember they said it takes 5 years to find your voice. when you're doing comedy? How long have you been in comedy?
6.5.
Oh, okay. Well, have you found your voice? Good, good. And then they said it takes 20 years to make a comedy career. And I thought, well, I'll be dead by then, you know. But I'm not. I've been almost dead a few times. Now I'm in the old folks' home, but yeah, I'm in the old folks' home where there's no men whatsoever. And the ones that are here are like this.
Oh gosh. Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you the
I
resident
haven't had
comedian?
an orgasm for 2 years because my vibrator's packed up in storage and I can't find anybody to go get it for me.
Oh my God. You need to get yourself a service animal, a golden retriever.
For what kind of service?
To retrieve the vibrator.
Oh, oh, okay. Well, when I was at UC Medical Center, they showed us all these different films, and they showed a film of bestiality. That's why I had to check with you. You know, what are you talking about?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I remember when Madonna went through that crazy phase. Do you remember that?
I remember she kind of simulated masturbation, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Crazy.
A lot of girls go through that.
Yes.
I bet there's a couple of them right here. And you know, never gotten out of that stage.
It's a fun stage, you know. We can
Yeah.
imagine we're with anybody.
That's right.
There's no
That's right.
stopping.
Oh,
The good
my,
news is my mother can't bounce in the room on me anymore.
your mother can't do that.
She can't burst in the room in the middle of me doing that anymore.
That she shouldn't do that. That's not nice. Leave people their privacy to masturbate, damn it.
Hashtag that, folks. Privacy masturbate.
Yeah, lock your door so they can't come crashing in and make you feel terrible and guilty.
Okay, so I need some sex therapy. I want to tell you a joke I do, but it's really true. Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, I'm thirsty.
Okay, me too. Hashtag me too. Okay. My parents were married.
That's good.
Yeah, they were. And so then they got divorced. So sad. And I'm over it now.
It's sad.
Yes. I was in 8th grade. And my mother started having wild parties.
Uh-oh.
And literally, I'd wake up in the morning and there was leftovers of partying sex paraphernalia stuff on the floor back in the day. And I'd have to literally play hopscotch to get out the front door to go to high school. And then I'd get to choir class and the teacher would say, sing from your diaphragm. Dang it, I should have brought one.
Yeah. Kept up with your mother.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't good for you.
Yeah. And so I kind of had, I would say I was frigid and in my marriage because of everything I'd seen around the house. And I've been single since 1981, and I've had 3 microwave romances. And when they
What's that?
Huh?
What's a microwave romance?
Like you meet somebody and you're engaged, and then you start stuttering like Mel Tillis when he's not singing, and you go, maybe I'm a little ahead of this curve, and you back out of the engagement. That's me. I've never been a runaway bride, runaway fiance.
Uh-huh.
So what kind of sex therapy you have for someone like me?
Long-term therapy. Long-term, because, so have you ever had orgasm with sex?
Yes.
With a partner?
Yes.
Okay. So you want me to tell you what my hunch is from that, which could be wrong. It's just a hunch.
Go ahead.
Don't set it in concrete in your mind.
Okay.
But by your mother doing that, she probably influenced you not to trust. You couldn't trust your dad because he left. You couldn't trust your mother because she was with a different man every night. And you're scared because you don't know if somebody that you're attracted to will leave you or reject you or abandon you. And maybe you'd rather have your vibrator working.
Totally. And that's why I've been single. And I was no fun to be married to sexually. I was a piece of cold fish. And I don't want to blame it on my mother, but I didn't have a good perception of sex.
Yeah, yeah. What did you say in your mind about your mother when you hopped, skipped, and jumped across the room to get to school?
I was just disgusted.
Mm-hmm.
I was disgusted.
Was it sex is disgusting? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you still think that?
No, not at all. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a lot of the people there partying would try different things with us kids because they were in different stages of being inebriated, you know. And so I've been touched and fondled and raped and all of the above
Oh,
around
okay.
scenarios that should not have put in unsafe areas. And
Your mother didn't take care of you, and your father didn't either from your child's mind.
yeah. So I'm a lot better now.
Good.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'm 69 years old, and I have to say I've loved but never been loved back equally, if at all. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still looking for someone that's just as much in love with me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are you saying that you fall for guys that aren't available to you?
I think that I'm interested and they're not, or I'm interested and I scare them off because I don't play games, but I'm not a stalker, but I let them know I'm interested in one way and then they're gone. The minute they find out I'm interested, they're gone.
Mm-hmm. Well, that keeps you safe, doesn't it?
Yes. So, like everybody's my friend and they don't ever know anymore if I'm interested.
They what?
So now every guy is my friend. And I never tell them if I'm interested. And if they're interested in me, they have to tell me first. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. They get on here and flirt with me, and then they never do anything about it after.
Well, do I detect a little sorrow in you about that?
So much sadness. So sad.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're very aware. Yeah. Of your feelings, which is good.
So you're in a senior home and there's nobody there to pair up with who would know that you're pairing up with him? Is that what you're telling me?
I didn't hear what you said.
So now let's switch the subject to you. You're in a scenario. You're in a nursing home or a
Assisted living.
assisted
I
living.
had 2 surgeries, three major surgeries. I had open heart in 2010. I had lung cancer from smoking 2018. Then 8 days later, I fell and broke my hip. Who breaks their hip in rehab? And you know, these 3 good-looking EMTs came to my bedroom when I was having my aneurysm. And, you know, I had wanted good-looking men in my bedroom, but not 3, you know, 1 at a time. So that's all I've seen for the last 10 years, you know, doctors, EMTs, guys that pick you up off your bed and stuff like that, you know, and people who are comatose here at the old folks home.
It's hard to get consent from a man who's comatose.
That's right, and I'm not into rape.
Oh my God.
I'm a nice woman.
You know, the older.
I did write this sex ed book for kids. I didn't
Did you
tell
really?
you. Yeah.
Where do people buy that?
Oh, the only place they could buy it is probably from me or Amazon. I don't know. They might have some copies, but
And
it's Let's Talk About Sex and Loving. And they'd have to send me a $20 bill, and I could send it to them.
Got it.
I'd get on my cane and, you know, go to the post office and mail it to them. No refunds. I don't know if I have time for refunds. Because as soon as I get that $20, I'm going to spend the thing.
Oh my God.
There's a little story about that, because when my son went away to college, I was depressed for 2 years with emptiness. And so I took on this project, and I got my niece by marriage and my nephew by marriage to do it for me. And it had already been published, but the publisher wasn't going to pick it up after 2 times. It had 2 printings. And I liked it.
So let me ask you a silly question. So the book is for ages what to what?
Oh, I think this book is good for like 10, 11, something like that. Of course, you know, if I'd read it when I was 21, I'd learned something, because I'll tell you the chapters. Like when I was growing up in Alabama, my girlfriend and I, we heard this word rubber. Did you hear that word, rubber?
Yes.
Okay. So we were trying to figure out, well, what in the world is a rubber? And finally, my friend Sue said, I know what it is, Gail. It's what a guy wears when he has his period. That's why I wrote this book. But how do boys and girls look different? What's menstruation? What's wet dreams? How do people make love? Where do babies come from? When touching yourself feels good? Masturbation. Are you curious? who needs private time. What are bathroom words? Bathroom words were big deals back in my time. When touching doesn't feel good. Talking about your experience. What are adopted and foster children? Loving and feeling loved. And I wanted to say something about divorce too, because you brought that up that your parents were divorced. My parents were divorced too. There's a scholar, Judith Wallerstein. She did research, and she found that 30% of kids of divorce have severe long-term depression. So it's a major rejection. It's a major abandonment. It's it's financially devastating for the children if the father's not paying, and which happens sometimes, but not all the time. Some fathers are really good and step up and do what they're supposed to do, and the others should go to jail, in my mind.
I have a
So
saying about that. And if you're a father that's been sitting back, letting the baby mama handle it, or if you're a wife and the husband has, um, jurisdiction, step up because I'm here to tell you, I raised a daughter from the time she was 4 without a husband because I got divorced. And every month the child support check would come. But my daughter couldn't sit on the couch and hold hands with the child support check. She couldn't get her
yeah,
self esteem or find out her pre existing conditions from her father's side from the child support check. There's so, you gotta step up and be a mother or a father if you've partaken in creating that child. Don't walk away.
yeah. No, I agree. If that's possible, that needs to happen because that father's very important. And it's very important that you have your father so that you know how to relate to a man,
Yes.
so that you know how to tell a man how you feel. Because that's the biggest problem that married couples have is they don't talk to each other about their feelings because they're afraid they'll hurt the person's feelings, and they're afraid of rejection and abandonment, and by not talking about it they make the rejection and abandonment happen.
Eventually it will happen.
Eventually yeah, it's like the self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm sure you've heard of that a million times. Well, it's true.
Absolutely.
You keep
Absolutely.
saying stuff long enough, you create it.
Yes. Yes.
And people don't understand that. They want to blame it on the other person.
Absolutely. I
You
have a
never
broken
know.
relationship with my daughter.
What?
I have a very broken relationship with my adult daughter. Now, this isn't sexual at all,
Uh-huh.
but I created it because I was afraid that she would abandon me. So I was very close to her and she needed to break away.
Mhm. Well, have you talked to her about it or written her a letter or anything?
We had a falling apart and it has not turned the door, that hasn't come back into focus for since the day I started comedy. That's why I started comedy, to stay alive.
See, we both started it out of chaos and pain.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes,
And I think that's why people get into comedy.
yes. And I subscribe to the healing school of Shakespeare.
Go ahead.
You don't have to pay to go to that school. Shakespeare's a little faster than waiting on God. Sometimes God's slower than Shakespeare.
You know, I've been hearing a little something, rumblings about Vegas, Vegas Halloween comedy boom boom or blom blom or something. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I haven't. You want me to look it up right now?
Sure. Why
So
not?
Vegas Halloween.
I could drive to Vegas, but I wouldn't, I'd be afraid to stay in hotels because of the virus, you know?
Yes. I'm looking up Vegas Halloween. Halloween
Ooh,
in Vegas 2020. Las Vegas, Fright Las Vegas is the largest immersive, socially distanced haunted attraction this Halloween season. Do you want me to send you this?
sure.
Okay. It's a coming. Incoming.
I'm not doing any stand up at clubs because they're all closed and I have some risk factors.
Absolutely.
You're not, are you? Or are you?
I have risk factors. I
Mm.
survived a blood clot,
Oh my.
and I've had subsequent blood clots, and I have osteoporosis, degenerative arthritis, and I'm allergic.
Age old, age grand.
Do you know that my doctor told me I've lived long enough, Gail?
What?
He said,
You're a beautiful young woman of 69.
well, what he really said was, the bad news is you have osteoporosis. But the good news is everybody gets it if they've lived long enough.
Well, that's true. Oh, okay. See, I told you I was gullible. Well, you know, there was a guy that said that he was 70 and he'd be willing to die for his grandchildren. He was a senator or something. And then there was another politician that said 76 is long enough to live. I wonder if he ever knew um, Ruth Ginsburg.
Yes. Or Methuselah.
Or I don't know how old Shakespeare lived to be. I was
Just find
thinking,
out.
okay, you've got one of those things you can look up everything. I don't have the internet on my phone because I think I'm being more private that way, but I'm probably just fooling myself. Speaking of fools, what do you think of who's running for president?
I think that any first year stand up comedian could do a better job and keep us engaged and be more likable, more relatable. This is ridiculous. How many people are in America? 500 million? And this is what we have to, we only have two choices and this is it?
I think it's about 330 billion.
So
Yeah.
Shakespeare died when he was 52 years old.
Oh my God,
He died in
that's young.
he died April 23rd, 1616, 404 years ago.
Wow.
He died
Okay.
in the same small town where he was born.
Mm.
He was a
Well, where are you
fertile
doing?
woman. What?
Where are you? Where are you doing your comedy since COVID?
Well, my comedy, like, I walk around the mall and find people that will listen. And so they have a mall over here. And I was just walking around and I stumbled into a sports store. And in the back, the whole wall was autographed with celebrity autographs on the wall. And there was a stage. So I said, can I get up on that stage and knock
Good
some?
for you.
And then I went next door and there was a boxing ring. A real in the mall, you could get inside a boxing ring and get on some gloves And so they put gloves on me and I got in the ring and started telling jokes.
You're gutsy, lady. Gutsy.
I ain't got no
One thing.
filter. No filter.
That's right. That's right. Who needs those?
I don't even use one in my coffee maker. So what do you want people to take away from this interview about Gail Jones?
Well, first of all, I every now and then I do put an article that might be helpful to people on Gail Jones, Southern Sex Therapist Comedy. And if this COVID is ever over, I'd like to do stand up for them.
Yes.
And if you'd like to hear more of my rantings, I have an interview on YouTube. It's called Meanwhile with Mean Dave podcast, number 35. And it's about an hour long, and it's kind of fun. And you can see that if you would like to. That's what I did last, and now Linda is what I did last. And if you want to get a copy of the book, try Amazon. But if they don't have any, you can send me $20 and Linda can tell you where to send it to if you contact her. And and I'll send it to you.
Wonderful. How's the food where you're at, Gail? Are they treating you?
Terrible, 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 terrible. Don't ever come to one of these places. I mean, it was good for 3 months when I had people changing my diaper. But stay in your home and pay somebody to take care of you. And if there's anybody that wants me to pay them to take care of me, call me.
Okay. Wonderful.
I'm kidding.
You're kidding?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gail Jones. I love you. Take care of yourself.
I love you too. You're beautiful.
You are too. Let me know if you find a man in there. If you find an extra one, I'll be right over.
Okay, but I'm not sure you would. I think you would say you were coming, but you wouldn't show up.
If I tell you that I'm coming, I'm coming. One of these days we got to get together and go out to eat.
If I ever go to Vegas, I'm I'm definitely dying for a trip.
I know some people here that have put you on stage like that.
Who?
Steve McAnally. Do you know that name? I'm going to tag him so that he can see you.
Okay.
And let him know that after this, I can see you on his shows. Definitely.
Okay.
Okay.
What kind of, does he do Zoom shows or what?
No, he has been silent this whole time in protest, but he's getting Vegas is opening up. Tropicana, Delirious at the Grand. Pretty soon, the big one down there, the Cellar at Planet Hollywood. There, I don't know about Brad Garrett yet, but some of them are opening up. Yeah, so it's getting ready to bust wide open for flu season.
Well, doing this is fine. If you know anybody that likes to do interviews, you can pass my name along. Do you like to do interviews?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I have a friend in New York who would love to interview you. Her name is Debbie, and I'll tell her about you.
Well, thank you so much. Bill Word gave me your name.
Oh, that's right. I get to meet
Isn't
him.
he sweet?
Yeah, I get to meet him in November because I'll be over at my sister's, and he lives in the same town.
Long Beach?
No, doesn't he live in Laguna Niguel?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Somewhere down there. I was in his contest, and on the way to the contest, I had a wreck and totaled my rental car. And, and the fireman walked in with me and told him she really did have a wreck. she, I was so mad when I did that comedy. It was great. I wish I could show it to you because I was pissed off.
So comedy is rant style. And so nothing better than a car accident to get your motor going, right?
I know, adrenaline galore.
You win that contest?
Oh, no.
Maybe you needed to have a bigger accident with more firemen.
Yeah. Give this woman first place. Thank you, Linda. It's been a delight.
I've enjoyed it so much, Gail. I'll put all the stuff on your post later today. Right now, I'm going to go take a nap because I got 2 hours sleep.
Okay. Good night or goodbye or whatever it is over there in Las Vegas.
Bye. Love you.
Love you too.
I have a joke. Did you know there's 2 different reasons why men and women come to Vegas?
Why?
Well, the women that come as tourists to Vegas, they come here to pull the one-armed bandits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the loose slots.
Yeah.
They come for the loose sluts.
Yeah, they do. I couldn't believe it. They stand out on the sidewalk and give you postcards.
Yes. Glossy color ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Not my idea of fun, but I guess different strokes for different folks.
Yes. Literally. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Love you. You're the best. Bye.